Boom, 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 boom. Boom, 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 boom. Boom, 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 boom. Boom, 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 boom. Boom, 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 boom. Boom, 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 boom. Boom, 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 boom. Boom, 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 boom. Oh, boom, 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 boom. If you go down in the woods today, you're sure of a big surprise. Good morning, my beauties.
Is that the right time?
2 the second.
Morning, Harry.
Good morning, my love.
I told you we were early.
Oh, think how pleased Sister will be. You were late twice last week.
Oh, damn, sister.
Oh, well, he can't last forever, he.
Oh, it can, you know. Thanks.
Thanks. How's the smoking?
3 weeks tomorrow. Oh, they're just to test my willpower.
Oh. Come on.
Bye, Harry.
Cheerio, love.
Bye-bye.
Bye, love.
Tomorrow I'll set the alarm.
Yeah, let's see here.
¿Cuál es su nombre?
¿Cuál es su nombre?
¿Cuál es su nombre?
¿Cuál es?
¿Qué edad tiene usted?
¿Cuál es su noche? Morning, Johnny.
¿Qué edad tiene usted?
¿Cuál es su dirección?
¿Cuál es su dirección?
¿Cuál es su dirección? Por favor, llamar un médico.
Un favor, un blimey.
And look at this. Please send 14 quid for your state registration number.
Well, someone's got to pay for it.
Yeah, well, I don't see why the management should. And why we have to have a cap ceremony before we're officially staff, I shall never know. Well, somebody's got to care.
Meaning I don't.
Oh, don't let's argue. Such a lovely morning. Hey, I'm going to try for staff on dear old female medical.
I thought you and Sister Young didn't get on.
Depends how I feel and what I want. But the day that I'm called staff nurse foreman will be the happiest day of my life.
Take a tip from an old-timer. Get to work on Sister now. She pulls some waiters, madam.
Oh, shall I bring it in for you?
Ah, will you?
Con la embajada americana, por favor. Comuníqueme con la embajada americana,
Morning,
por
Harry.
favor.
Oh, morning, love.
How's the Spanish?
Not too bad. I'm getting on quite well. I can say, can you direct me to the American Embassy? Which is not much good when you're trying to tell them that electric polishers are no good on concrete floors. Do you know I have to work with Pakistanis, Ugandians, Portuguese, Spanish?
Yeah, we got a Pakistani patient on our ward. She didn't speak a word either.
It's a rum world. Hey up, sister's coming.
No. I'll see you, Harry.
Ah, cheerio, love. Good morning, Sister Young.
Good morning, Mr. Jameson. Would you collect my specimens early?
Just a moment, please. I'm sorry I haven't got a man to spare.
The day you have a spare porter, I'll eat my uniform. And who gave you permission to use the elevator coming down?
Good morning, Sister.
Oh, bright and early.
Morning, sister.
Good morning.
Morning, sister.
Good. Has number 7 been in yet?
No, not yet, sister.
Right. You can start breakfast. Well, now, that is kindly.
Yeah, but they were very dry.
Thanks. Oh, it is cold in here.
How about a cup of coffee? Warm me up.
Lovely.
Morning, sister. I thought you might like a coffee. It's so cold out.
I am being spoilt. Where's night nurse?
She's gone down to record, sister.
Ah, well. I want you to keep a special eye on Mrs. White today. Her husband's left her, and she's very down. And nurse, will you see to Mr. Carter's bed?
Right, sister.
Ward 4A? Oh, hello, Mary. How is things? Poor you. Mrs. Richardson's X-ray for Dr. Cooper? What time's he coming up? Right.
Must be it. Well, go on, open it. Oh, dear. Well, there'll be other chances.
I need that promotion now. Not in 2 years' time.
Well, I, for one, am glad. Can't afford to lose a good ward sister.
And I can't afford to remain one.
Oh, you'll cope. Next week's duty rotas, and don't forget to leave time for Nurse Brent and Nurse Fullman's cap ceremony.
Ah, yes. I'll have to make a decision about them soon.
Well, Fullman seems to be settling down all right, after a shaky start.
Oh, she's very good. And the patients love her.
And Nurse Brent?
She's good, too. Reliable, efficient.
You're spoiled.
I'm not the only one who's looking to the future, you know.
It takes you back, doesn't it? When I think of some of the things that I did to get in with Sister, it makes me blush to think about it. Well, enjoy it while you can.
Oh, I intend to. All I could wish for today is a nice, relaxed duty.
You lucky?
Good morning, Mrs. White.
Good morning, sister.
Good morning, ladies. Good morning, girls.
Morning, sister.
Oh, nurse, see to those pillows, will you? Good morning, Mrs. Khan. Do try to make her eat something, or she'll fade away on us. Good morning, Mrs. Good. You slept well last night?
Yes, sister.
Good. Morning, Miss Winters.
I don't know what's good about it. All this fresh air, the tea's freezing, and so am I.
Well, if you moved about a bit more, you wouldn't feel so cold. Here.
I'd like some more sugar this time.
Nurse Rutherford, go and change those tights immediately.
Oh,
I suggest you spend more time on your clothes and less on your face. Too much makeup. Can I have a fresh cup? Thank you. You'll be home tomorrow.
I know, Jack.
Well, it'll get better in time.
So they keep telling me.
Yes, Miss Winters. Sorry, it is a silly thing to say now, isn't it?
No, you're quite right, sister. It's just that I dread opening my front door. Nothing but an empty place. And so tidy. Lovely messy man, my Jack. He was a full-time job, I can tell you.
Some wives would grumble.
It's just that I don't know what I'm going to do with myself all day.
Excuse me, love. Ward 4A. All right. Ah, could you send up Mrs. Richardson's X-ray for Mr. Cooper? All right, I'll send a porter. Sister Young here. Would you send a porter to main X-ray?
I'm sorry, sister, I still haven't got a man to spare. Not if it was Barbara Castle herself could I oblige. Look, I've already told you that the management service unit have cut portering staff by a third, and I've got a list of jobs here as long as a stretcher pole. Oh, hang on a minute. Are you spare?
I can't do the incinerator if me rake's broke. I told you yesterday.
Shorty Harris interrupted me when I was filling in your form. An NO 200, requisition for services and non-stores. Hello, sister. Oh, madam.
That Young?
Sister Young to you. Anyway, how do you know?
You always call her madam.
She's all right. One of the best. Good nurse. But oh dear, when the pressure is on. All right. Well, now you're going to learn to be a ward porter, so change that filthy overall and make the tea. Sister Young? Yes, it seems we were cut off. Well, I thought you'd like to know that I found you a porter. Just a minute, please. Mrs. Richardson's plates, main X-ray to 4A, right? Warm that pot.
Load of bull.
That is the correct way to make a cup of tea.
Ritual for ritual's sake.
The brook would have fallen, mate, on your maiden's water. Well, go on. Tea's not ration. Well, not yet. Porter's office, Jameson. Oh, hang on a minute, Shorty. Here. Get out of my sight. Mrs. Richardson's plates. All right, now, Shorty, listen. When you finish that, I want you to go over to the main theatre and pick up some packed cells from the blood fridge for a Mr. Hughes, Ward 14. And on your way, pick up a Mrs. Bonington from Casualty for brain scan. And oi, you ain't paid me your pool's money this week. And the same to you. Boom, 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 boom. Porter's office, Jameson. Ha! Hello, Sister Duppy. Yes, Shorty's up there now. Well, I'll see what I can do. I shall probably get hung for it. Tell Shorty to take some milk formula to maternity. And Sister Duffy says the babies cannot wait for an arbitration on supplies. Oh, blimey, that was quick.
Wouldn't give them. Said they hadn't been reported on, whatever that is.
They will not release without the radiologist's comments. Sister Young, X-ray will not release until they've been reported on. Well, you should have cleared them, shouldn't you? Well, this is hardly my responsibility. Wasting our time. What? No, that wasn't meant for you, sister. She's got ears like a bugging system.
You two should go in for an heavyweight.
Hey, you seen that, have you? That Christmas card? From Charing Cross, that's all. She's all right.
Who?
Sister Young. She just don't like porters.
Naughty.
What? Oh. Oh, I wonder how that got in there. What was it? 5? No, I tell a lie. 10 years ago. I was working on the private patients' wing. And when they was discharged, we used to help them out, you know, to their cars. Madam on one side and me lugging the cases. They went to slip us anything, she'd say, do not tip the porters. They're very well careful.
Struth.
Porter's office, Jameson. Yes, well, I'll do my best. That was the theatre. Charlie ain't turned up and Williams has gone sick.
Not again.
Well, we can't all be Mr. Universe. Now, you and me are going to pick up a post-op, so mind your manners and wash your hands. Shorty can take over here. Porter's office, Jameson. Yes, Sister Young, but he's got a job now. I know I said, but that was before. Where's the fire? You could be right, Ducky.
Hey, where's the fire?
You took your time. Now go down to main X-ray and get Mrs. Richardson's plates. They're expecting you.
But I was just...
No buts. It's urgent.
Hey, what's up with sister?
Nothing.
Oh, not much there isn't. I've been on the go the whole bloody day.
Are they working you two hard ducks?
It'll get better.
Oh, Pollyanna.
Hey, you'll freeze out here. Come on.
I'd love to get my scrubber on that floor. It's a disgrace.
You enjoy your leisure, my darling, while you can.
Leisure.
Come on.
What's the rush?
I'm keeping him with sister.
Oh, that's a ticket.
Damn. Oh, I borrowed a pair of your tights. I hope you don't mind.
As long as you return them. Washed this time.
The other lift is being serviced according to maintenance.
Hey, you know that's against the rules. It was only a floor. Yeah, well, that's all the more reason to walk.
Sorry. Main X-ray's that way, isn't it?
Second door on the left, and don't forget to knock.
Good, arrogant little so-and-so. And she's busted.
Oh, this perishing maintenance. Oh, well, there's nothing else for it. We'll have to manhandle.
Up there?
Well, keep your hair on. Although in your case, I'm not so sure. Come on. All right. Shorty, come and take this trolley. All right, now. You ready?
Yeah.
Right, lift.
Oh, cripes. She's a weight. Here, Shorty was telling me that there's this article on obesity. And that means when
I
you're...
know what it means. Oh, blimey, that light bulb's gone again.
Anyhow, he was saying that people is stones heavier now and that we should get a bonus for extra weight.
Oh, how about it, Union Branch Secretary?
Are you taking the mickey out of me? Me that marched by your side during the militancy?
Do you remember Henrietta Street?
Well, when you dropped your banner.
Oh.
Take it easy.
I can't see.
All right, now, come on. Ah, there's the trolley. You'll have to be more careful. Patience is our raison d'etre.
Oh, I like that.
Ah, Mr. Carter. Hold it. What's this?
Not our responsibility.
It never is. Nurse Brent, would you take over? And see to this drip.
Yes, sister. All right.
Well, nurse?
Must have been that bang on the stretcher.
What bang?
Well, Harry and I were coming up.
Harry?
Mr. Jameson.
Porters. Well, get on with it.
Yes, sister.
Mr. Jameson.
What now?
Mr. Jameson, at this large drip,
Well,
I understand you banged the stretcher.
what are you hanging about for? Come on. Get moving. You all right?
Yes, thanks.
We was manoeuvring it up the stairs.
Stairs?
The lift is broke.
It was fine 5 minutes ago.
Well, it's not now, and if one of the lamps hadn't busted...
Excuses, always excuses. If the porters were properly trained, we'd spend less time patching up your carelessness.
And what about Saturday, when Shorty lanced himself with a hypo needle because you'd forgotten to put it back in the sharps
Not
box?
my ward.
It was one of you nurses. It seems to me they're not properly trained either.
And some time ago I asked you to collect my specimens. I suppose I'll have to wait all day for that to be done.
That's where they're supposed to be, isn't it?
It wouldn't hurt you to ask someone where they are now, would it?
Oh, I'm an errand boy now, am I?
Mr. Jameson.
As for excuses, if I'm in the wrong, I'll admit it, unlike some. Lifts and lights are maintenance. But they're so busy fixing up lights for your Christmas tree that we can break our necks.
And that's my fault too, is it?
Well, it certainly isn't mine.
So you keep saying. So the lift's broken, is it?
It was.
Really?
Are you calling me a liar?
If the cap fits, wear it.
Well, that is it. That is bloody well it.
Don't you swear at me.
I am not swearing at you. I
Come
am
on
just...
now, lies.
Oh, so I am a liar, am I? Well, I'm telling you, I've stood just about as much as I can
And
stand.
so have I, Mr. Jameson. And I intend to make a formal complaint through the proper channels.
You do that, Sister Young. You do that. You inform the senior nursing officer, our dear Mrs. Smith. And she will have to inform the hospital secretary, who will also have to inform the branch
give me the
secretary,
blessed
which
thing.
is me, yours truly. And I can tell you that I am doubting tools as of now. You cow. Women.
What's up?
You'll find out. Shift it. Well, this will sort the men from the boys. I'm getting on to Orpington.
Orpington?
The Union.
Oh.
Hello, St. Angela's here. Can I speak to Tom Goddard? Hello, Tom. This is Harry Jameson. I've just called it down tools. Tell the rest of the lads.
Naughty.
Well, oh, shut up. Look, I know it's out of order, Tom, but they pushed me too far this time. And I want my complaints official and investigated. All right, I'll be waiting. Oh, we'll see which side of her face she's smiling on.
It's about time he was put in his place. He thinks he runs his hospital.
But, sister, it wasn't me,
What is
sister.
it?
I need a drawer sheet and the laundry hasn't arrived.
Nor will it, so we'll have to make do with what we've got. Answer that, nurse, will you? Come along. We'll have to improvise, which is one of the tests of a good nurse.
Now, what are you going to do?
Now, watch. Now, first of all, you tuck in the edge only. Lift up.
No sooner in bed than I'm up and down.
Sorry, my dear. Then when it needs changing, you pull towards the side and tuck under the soiled area.
Soiled area.
Pat Lab want the specimens urgently.
Well, go down. No, you stay here. I want you to help dress a colostomy. It's time you did one anyway. You'd better go. Nurse Brent.
Yes, sister.
Will you and Nurse Rutherford dress Mrs. Richardson?
Right.
One moment.
Bills.
I think I'd better tell you that the porters have stopped work. And so I would appreciate if everyone can help where they can. Though I don't want the patients in the ward to be disturbed. But you can't tell Mrs. White. Well, what are you waiting for?
Is there time to bath Mrs. Khan?
Of course, I'm not having my routine interrupted. I need you.
Do you, sister?
Mrs. Richardson was actually admitted for BP tests, but she had a colostomy done some time ago, and we're afraid it may be infected. We're going to change the dressings now, but we'll be as gentle as possible. Very carefully, I'm going to remove the outside dressing. It's all right. Don't worry. Nurse. Here. There we are. Soon be done. Now I'm going to clean the wound. This is where we observe the state of the... Oh, sorry, it's cold. Where we observe the state of the wound and the process of healing. Once more. There we are. Dry that off. And now I'm going to put on a clean dressing, all right? Won't be long. Been very good. There we are. All over. You can go back to sleep now.
Thank you.
Thank you, nurse. You all right, nurse?
God, the smell.
Yes, it's not very nice, but you do get used to it. Come on, get the rubbish in. You must learn to develop a more clinical attitude.
I didn't expect it.
None of us do. In fact, the first time I assisted at dressings, I practically threw in nursing. But you do get used to it.
How?
Well, I just kept on telling myself how lucky I was to be doing the dressings instead of on the receiving end.
God, if I was Mrs. Richardson, I'd rather die.
No, you wouldn't. In fact, it's the patient's courage that makes you ashamed of your revulsion. Compassion doesn't leave much room for disgust. Now, come on, let's be clinical. What did you observe?
The muck.
Was it oozing at all?
I think so.
Well, come on, let's get these bags stacked. Yes or no?
Yes.
Good. Damn the porters.
Oh, God.
Don't worry, it's not too bad.
Oh, please, can I go for coffee?
All right.
Would one of you fetch Mrs. Tate from main X-ray? Apparently it's chaos down there. They can't move for wheelchairs. And change your apron.
Sister? About the staff job.
Well?
Well, I was wondering, if you hadn't chosen your staff yet...
Go on.
Doesn't matter. We've got to go down to the pharmacy. I'll go get the X-ray. And don't forget to start these sluice bags. I want to help Sister as soon as I'm free.
I knew it. I just knew it.
What?
Surly Shirley's after that staff job. Just have to get me in first, that's all. Cup of coffee, sis, to make you feel better.
Please. Oh, I must pull myself together.
You're never anything else but together.
Bless you.
She's happy and full of
For heaven's sake.
but she
Get rid of those bags before someone breaks his neck.
what she says.
I'm glad somebody's happy.
Here, sister. Do you remember Mate Do and Mean during the war?
Oh, do I?
They were great days, wasn't they?
I know, you're bursting to tell me.
Well, you know sheets were rationed and ours were full of holes. So I pinched my husband's enormous Union Jack for a top sheet. He was livid. It's sacrilege, he says. You know him being British Legion and all. Never mind about that, I says. We'll be safe under the flag. And I can't tell you what he said in reply, but I went short.
Right. I'm surprised at you.
Shall I get that, sister?
Oh, no. Answer that, will you? Come on now, let's get rid of these bags. We'll stop them outside the door for now. Oh, can't you look where you're going?
Come in, Miss Winters. Hold your water.
Sister, there's a new patient arriving and no porter to bring her
Oh,
up.
my God. I'll kill that Harry Jameson.
When I first come here after my demob, we wasn't even a teaching hospital. An outpatients and clap clinic in 2 Nissan huts. One wing flattened by buzz bombs and the wards full of TB. Now St Angela's is a real hospital.
And you did it.
We all did it.
This is all nice and cosy.
Oh, hello, Tom.
Hello, Harry boy, how are you? Now that takes me back a bit.
You fancy a cup of tea?
That would be very nice. Hello there.
This is Tom Goddard, our area secretary.
How do you do? Hello.
You better get some more tea, we're going to need it. And none of your tea bags.
Still keeping the old bunts as dark as ever, I see.
Oh, shut up.
And how's that sister of yours?
Do you mind? I've got enough trouble.
You do. You're not the only one rushing for those boots. Hang on a minute. Right. Can you take that into the kitchen?
Yeah, of course I can, Daps.
Sister, I thought these might help.
Bye. Oh, that's very thoughtful of you.
Well, it's the least I could do after that trip.
Oh, forget it. Here.
Thank you. I know it's not exactly the right moment, but, I wondered, had you chosen your staff yet?
Not really. I haven't had any chance.
Well, I'd, very much like to be considered.
Let's talk about it when the crisis is over, okay?
Of course.
Oh, and how was Nurse Rutherford?
Well,
Inattentive.
no. I mean, she was. But I felt it was more because she found the dressings distasteful than because she was vague.
She's bright enough at teaching. But that's not what nursing is all about. By the way, do you know who left those there?
Oh, I did. The night's...
Oh, heaven's sake, nurse. If you only knew the trouble. Oh, well.
Oh, thanks, Mrs. Wright. That's a great help.
Are you sure, nurse, there ain't nothing else I can do to help you?
Why don't you go and have a rest?
Rest? I've got plenty of time for that, ain't I?
Okay, then, sort out our Christmas decorations.
Shall I hang them up?
No, just put the broken ones in one pile and the others back in the box.
Okay.
Thanks, love. What was all that about, the staff job? Oh, Shirley and I are both angling for it. Shirley? She's very efficient. Sister likes you best. Do you really think so?
It's obvious.
I'll give you your message. Oh, Nurse Fullman.
Yes, sister?
Mr. Goddard would like to see you in the porter's office.
Whatever for?
Better go. Don't want any more trouble.
Yes, sister.
Oh dear, what have you done?
Don't ask.
I hear you reported Mr. Jameson, is that true?
He knocked a patient's rib, and you know me, I blew up.
Oh, Lord. Well, he's called in the union, you know that. Oh, Mr. Goddard.
Union?
Well, the whole hospital's in chaos. Casualty looks like the sinking of the Titanic, and you can't move in reception for wheelchairs. It's like the Paraplegics Olympics down there. You've really got to do something about that temper, lovey.
I know.
Otherwise, you'll put the kibosh on that promotion for good.
Oh, I've kissed goodbye to that already. I never thought he'd call in the union.
One never does. Well, you've got to go and give your version to Mrs. Smith.
Right.
Oh, don't worry, I'll be there. And don't lose your temper.
I'll try. Oh, by the way,
Yeah?
did you say Mr. Goddard
Yes.
wants to see Nurse Fullman?
It all boils down to the fact that you're the only witness. Sit down, love, will you, please? Now, Harry tells me you were very active during the 74 strike, so you're a good union member.
Yeah, I'm also a nurse.
Well, one doesn't cancel out the other, you know.
Just sometimes.
And what's that supposed to mean?
Or nothing.
Now, come on. Nothing doesn't exist. What's it all about?
Well, Sister Young implied that I might be a staff nurse.
Ah. And you feel you've got to choose between us? You know, love, when it boils down to it, there isn't a choice.
Why not? I'm a free agent.
Yes, and the freedom you have now is because others have fought for it.
But I joined the union.
Well, there are a lot of reasons nurses do that, you know. Cheap goods, air travel, help with the mortgage. In fact, and I've got to say this, some nurses join for all the wrong reasons. And remember, unions are number conscious. But where's the strength if nurses desert us in time of trouble?
Look, I did my bit and you know it.
Yes.
And what I want, my ambitions, they don't really count, do they?
No, I didn't say that, did I?
I worked hard on that board. I'm happy there. Oh, and what am I supposed to say to her, to Sister Young? She trusts me.
Then she'd want you to tell the truth, wouldn't she?
Well, even if it hurts her.
Look, you can't switch on and off like a light. If we lose now, they'll see our weaknesses, and next time we'll have to escalate pressure. Because the next time, management won't take us seriously, and it won't just be a down tools, it'll be a strike. In fact, if you back down now, that could mean real trouble in the future.
I admire Sister Young. She's all right.
Look, why don't you have a think about it and let us have your decision, eh?
Yeah, might just do that.
And Ruth, we're not bullies, you know. Thank you, Harry.
Of course, in the middle, aren't you? Look, I want you to forget my seniority for a minute because there's something I think you ought to know. Last spring, Sister Young disagreed with a disciplinary action taken against a student. Well, it does happen. Anyway, she fought for the student and she won.
She won?
Yes. And though I shouldn't say this could be the reason why Sister Young is not in my grade now.
Well, she said some very unfair things to Mr. Jameson.
Perhaps she lost her temper. Same temper that helped a student.
It's all so grey.
Real life generally is. Look, I expect you think that the Royal College of Nursing, that we're spinsters in flowered hats chatting to the management. Yes, well, I'm not like that, not anymore. Like Mr. Goddard, we're also concerned with relations between staff and nurses, and we also battle for pay and conditions.
Yeah, politely. I'm sorry.
Manners aren't a sin. But what we also are concerned with is the patient from the moment he comes in here right through to aftercare outside.
Oh, it's the patient blackmail that holds us down.
Well, without them we wouldn't exist.
Oh, when they're ill, nothing's too good for us, but when they're
now,
well...
that's human nature.
So you, don't want me to do anything?
Well, I didn't say that, but what I would like you to think about is what Mr. Goddard cares about most. What happened here this afternoon? Winning?
For my tears, Polly Boo.
Well, go on then. Heat up.
Yes, well, Nurse Pullman has agreed with your statement. No one tried to stop her.
I want disciplinary action taken against Young, all right?
Coffee.
Apparently this sort of thing's been going on for some time. In fact, it's
Yes, no, you
mad...
do take sugar. I'm
What?
so sorry. You take sugar?
3 lumps, please, yes.
Right.
It's madness as far as I can see that it's gone so far. The nursing officer should have seen it coming, had a word with her about her manner.
Well, of course, we knew nothing about it.
You should make it your business to know.
Just a moment. Your branch secretary, Mr. Jameson, should have informed Mrs. Smith of his complaints before. We can't work in a vacuum.
He must have said something about it.
Well, obviously not forcefully enough.
Or was he just ignored? Perhaps it was just his word against everybody else's. You know, nursing staff are notorious for not speaking out. They'll
come
stand down
now.
rather than back up any porter against their own seniors, and you know it.
Perhaps Mr. Jameson cares too much about being liked. Hmm? I mean,
This
after
man
all,
has
he's
worked
called
here
you
for
in.
what,
Just a minute,
25 years?
Let me speak. Hmm? Let me finish. I mean, he's called you in without consulting anybody here. He's hiding behind your skirts.
This is a legitimate complaint. And because of background build-up, for whatever reason, it's gone further than it ever should have been allowed to go. You know as well as I do, Mr. Cageman, that this man is certainly no militant.
I never said that. He's a very loyal member of the staff.
And it's that loyalty you're counting on, not to make trouble.
Yes.
But remember, our men are loyal to him.
Yes, I'm sure they are.
And unless justice is seen to be done, this thing could become official.
Oh dear, is that a threat?
Pardon?
Of a strike?
I didn't say that.
Yes. Well, if Sister Young is reprimanded and it's put on record, would Mr. Jameson be prepared to apologize for swearing?
Well, I'm certainly prepared to have a word with him about that, of course. Don't worry. See myself out.
Louise, ask Mrs. Smith if she's free, will you?
I what?
Apologise for swearing.
All right. As long as they realise what we, not only me, have to put up with.
I know, Harry. You've had a really hard time of it, haven't you?
Now, listen here, Tom. I want it...
Hello, Ruth. Come in, love. You won't regret it.
Doesn't really matter if I do, does it?
It was the right choice.
Choice?
It was the truth.
I wonder. You tell me something.
Yes, love, what?
What do you care more about? Strategy? Or sorting out this trouble without hurting anyone?
Now, that's not fair.
No, maybe not. But I feel used.
She's not being fair.
Fair? That's a word that only exists in theory.
Hey, do you think she'll have to ask for a transfer to get her promotion? Hey, you, Goldilocks! This ain't Butlins. Get up to Women's Medical and start clearing up. Pronto! Peace with honour, eh?
See you, member?
Oh, just about. Oh, don't worry, I'll knock him into shape.
Poor little perisher.
Yes, Mrs. Smith. 9:30 tomorrow. Bye. Sit down. I didn't see you there. And don't pretend you don't understand. You might like to know you've won.
Sister, it wasn't like that.
Oh?
Oh, well, I didn't choose to be there.
You chose to make a statement.
No, I had to.
And I have to be carpeted. Hello, Forey. Yes, I'm sorry. I hope you weren't inconvenienced. really. First the drip. Now I understand Mrs. Humphreys has been waiting all day in X-ray to be collected, or had you forgotten?
Sorry, Sister.
And a nurse? I suggest that in future you give more time to the patients.
Sister, will you try and see my side of it?
Oh, go away. Oh. Nurse Rutherford.
Sister?
I hear that you were inattentive during dressings.
I did my best, but it upset me.
Well, then you must just harden yourself to the unpleasant side of nursing, like the rest of us. It's nice to see things going back to normal. Don't stop. You wanted to talk to me?
It's not important.
Was it about the staff job?
Yes.
Well, why don't you put in a formal application?
Sister, I did try and tell you earlier that it wasn't Harry that knocked that drip. Not that it matters now.
Your clock stopped, Mr. Jameson.
She's got a nerve.
You don't understand nothing, do you? Porter's office, Jameson. Of course we're back to normal. Now take Mrs. Tripp from outpatients to main X-ray. Then you'll just have to eat later. We've got time to make up.